Morning, everybody. This is Jeff from Rust Bucket Valley Garage. This is going to be the first of a two-part episode on how to prepare your Jeep for off-road. I am not an authority by any measure. However, I do have an engineering background, and these are kind of the things that work for me. Um, let's get right into it. You've done a lot of work to your Jeep. Okay, you've made sure everything is solid. You have your body protection on. You have your rock sliders on. You have real good front and rear bumper. You have a decent winch to take and get you out of trouble. You've put a couple of 100 miles on the vehicle, and you found out that any little problems in the build that you've dealt with, and everything is looking pretty good now. You have more of these little shackles on the back and the front, so that you can take and connect things together. The winch is for getting you out of places where you get stuck. There's also a bunch of other equipment that, as a minimum, you should take and have at your disposal. Okay? And we kind of have things packed in here loosely. This really needs to be rearranged just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to pull everything out of here, and then I'm going to show you what all this stuff is. So I've unloaded most of the stuff out of here, and I've kind of spread it out. Obviously, you need a spare tire. This one did not come with a spare tire, so we had to go on eBay and get us another rim. And then we had to change the two front tires because we didn't like them very much. So we got another tire. And we had a spare tire, so we put that one on this rim. So that worked out pretty well. This is an actual factory rim, so none of the reduced diameter tires that you want a tire that is the same size as the one that you're on there, because you're going to be out in this vehicle a lot, and you can take and rotate your tires, and you don't have to worry, oh, I have a spare tire that's sub size. So let me get into the equipment and show you that. So obviously, if you get a flat tire, you need a real good lug wrench. The standard lug wrenches that come with the vehicles are substandard. This one did not come with a jack, and it did not come with a lug wrench since we got this vehicle at auction. So the 4-way lug wrench, you can exert superior force to get stubborn lugs off, and that's really important. We have a regular garage type jack. This is 1.5 tons. Some people would say, why did you get this kind of jack when you should have gotten a high lift jack? A high lift jack is something that is awful handy to have. We carry lumber with us too. We carry a piece of plywood or a piece of steel so they can go under this, so when you jack it up, it won't go into the soil wherever you are if you're in loose soil. And the jack does break down into a compact form. So for getting the tire off and getting it back on, you're in pretty good shape. Next thing you should have is a 5-pound fire extinguisher for your safety and the safety of others. If there's a fire, you need to be able to take and get it out quickly. I was coming back one time on 15 and here in Southern California, and somebody had some stuff in the back of their pickup truck, and it was on fire. So a 5 pound fire extinguisher will make a pretty good dent in that. And then hopefully you can find somebody with a rake or shovel and take and get that stuff out of there and get it on the ground so they can work with it a little bit more manageable. Okay. Next thing, we have a couple of rolls of paper towels. If you have any oil leaks or you want to clean something up, it's awful handy for that. If you go out and you're doing rock crawling, things like that, you have to take and air your tires down a little bit for better grip, because when you have a little bit lower pressure in your tires, in other words, if you air down, you have to be able to air up. This is a portable air pump. Okay, it operates off of 12 volts. It's got a real long hose on it with an air chuck that screws onto your the valves in your tires. So it's got another valve up here for airing down. Yeah, it's really handy. It's not that bad in price. Next thing you should have is a complete toolkit. Okay, this is a Harbor Freight special, and it basically has everything that you could possibly use. It's got wrenches, sockets, Allen keys. It's got a couple of different trays down here. They're having a special on these. This is a 301 piece, and if you go online, they have a coupon that you can print out that will give you another $25 off. So with this one right here, I paid about $165 plus tax. As you can see, this is a quite expensive toolkit. It's 1/4 inch, 3/8, and half. I'm going to take and put about a 18th inch piece of copper pipe to use as a cheater pipe in case get anything that's really stubborn, but this should handle pretty much anything on the trail. All this comes in a nice plastic case with a handle on it. There's a couple of things that weren't in here that I thought I needed. This is a 50 cal ammo case. This right here is extremely handy for any extra stuff. Of course, you need a flashlight and you need a bag with extra batteries in there, a pair of channel locks, a bundle of tie wraps. It's always nice to have, in case you got to put stuff together temporarily. There is a knife in here for cutting whatever you need to cut, and there's also a chisel and drift set, which is down in here. Okay. As for the recovery gear, the winch is your main workhorse, and you're going to take and have your little shackles there, and the winch comes with rub guards, which is kind of a sleeve that has Velcro one side of it that you can take and if you have to take and go over or around anything, you can put one of those sleeves on there. It'll keep your line from getting tore up. This is synthetic line, it's not cable. But as for the actual working stuff, let me show you what I did. This bag contains a 7/8 by 20 foot towing strap, kinetic rope, and it's actually a very reasonably priced. If you take and go with some of the big name brands ones, you're going to be paying a couple $100 for them. This one was like 60, 70, something like that. A snatch block, which if you can't get a straight pull on something, you can take and go ahead and put a cable through here like this. It's got a roller here. You can take and tie this off to a tree. It will take and double your pulling force with your winch or your rope. For attaching to the vehicle, these are soft shackles. These, when I first saw these things, were kind of funny. I'm thinking, what use could they be? This one has a big knot that is tied in one end, and the way they take and go on to the big knot is the way this is braided. Okay, that this goes through here, and you can take and open this up, and this this area here will slip over here. So you see, when you take and put this, this has got a nice nice sleeve on it, so it doesn't take and tear your rope up. You can take and put the end of your rope, here through this, and then you can take and attach this to your vehicle if the vehicle doesn't have appropriate pull points. And this is real easy on painted surfaces and also suspension components. So that's how it takes and goes together. And then when you take and pull on this obviously goes closed like that around this knot, and it will take and be extremely secure. You have to take and watch out for your weight ratings. This pull rope right here is rated at 60,000 pounds. This one right here is 10,000 kilograms. Okay, so it's 35,000 pounds, I think. So you always want to take and have things that are higher rated than whatever your winch capacity is, so that you won't be breaking stuff. These things right here are rated at 37,000 pounds. Okay, so there's all this stuff that is in the back of the vehicle. All right, so as you're driving around, the stuff is going to be moving around. Okay, Jeep has been nice enough to take and put these tie-down points here. There's one, there's two, there's one up here, there's one here, there's also one here on the floor, that you can take and tie stuff down in this area. If you were to have an upset, you would not want a 50-pound tire rolling around back here. So that could be very bad. If you have anybody in the back seat, they can get hurt. You don't want somebody hurt by a flying tire or a tool case or something like that. Just going down a rough road and stuff, the stuff does move around a little bit. So you need a cargo net to take and make sure everything stays back here. I do a lot of work out in the desert, and I have to bring back a lot of unwieldy loads sometime. So I made a cargo net for the back end of the white S10. Let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so this is a cargo net that I use. I actually made this one back in the workshop, and I think online they wanted like $400 for this thing, and I made it for about $80. So it really takes and holds stuff together, and it's got some real long tie points on all four corners, because in the back of the S10 there are loops. So on all four corners of the S10 bed there are hook eyes like this that you can take and tie stuff off with. So yeah, it's very handy. There's one up there, there's one up there, and there's one right here. Okay, so in episode 2, I am going to show you how to take and make a cargo net from scratch using materials you can buy at the local home improvement center, and it will really do the job. Okay, and I'll see you for part 2. Thanks for stopping by.